What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I'm going to talk to you about ChargePoint. ChargePoint over this last 5 days has been on a phenomenal run. I want to break it down on why it has been going up as much as it has, what the current data points are saying, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So ChargePoint alone on Friday did go up 9.21%, a fair amount of volume, so 17.5 million shares being traded, 12.4 is the average. Over this last week though, volume has been increasing, but yet it's not really institutions buying. So the last transactions above $100,000 did occur on March the 26th. So big money isn't really getting into ChargePoint on the long. So a lot of the volume is just algorithmic trading. So AI is being told to buy ChargePoint. And there's a couple of things that led to it being told to buy, so I'm going to talk about that. But first I want to go over some additional data points, and it has been a while since I've done a ChargePoint video, so just to quickly pop over here. So these are all the recent analyst ratings. So last one was done 26 days ago and then 30. So $1.50 price target, sell, downgrade, Goldman Sachs, Mark, who does have a 60% success rating, which is relatively good for anyone covering EVs. So yeah, I think it is what it is. Chris, though, on the opposite spectrum, does have a 34% success rating. So hopefully after ChargePoint's upcoming earnings in June, then a lot more analysts will be somewhat more optimistic. We'll just have to wait and see. But I have been monitoring earnings per share and revenue and a lot of the key metrics, and there hasn't been all that much changes. So there was 8 analysts before, now there is 7. So one analyst did withdraw their estimate, and it didn't really change it or anything. So it still is sticking at negative 13 cents for the earnings per share. And just to briefly give you an overview on revenue, this upcoming quarterly earnings, so the Q1, is estimated to be among the lowest it has been in a while. And normally ChargePoint always does miss on their revenue estimates in comparison to analysts. But maybe with this such low expectations, this is the one opportunity that ChargePoint does have. We'll just have to wait and see. But right now there is 14 analysts with a consensus of 105.73 million. So that did go down slightly from 106. That was done around 4 weeks ago, and even 3 months ago, which was 126 million. So that's more of a benchmark right here. And also on a side note, latest Morningstar report does show fair market value for ChargePoint, just based on its assets being $2.50. If you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as everything I showed you, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all of it to be completely free, on a side note. So I just wanted to bring this up because it's been a while, like I said, since I've done any ChargePoint videos. But moving on, looking at some additional information, starting off with this. So there hasn't been any recent news. So last news was on April the 25th. And then for SEC filings, there was this. So yesterday, so Friday after hours, a Form 4. And it just shows the COO did acquire some of the RSU shares. So nothing really crazy, 115,000 and then 15,000, as you can kind of see right here. So he didn't actually buy it himself. This was obviously just given, as what it kind of states right here. So I think it was 3-year holding period. So it is what it is. So he now does have it, and whether they hold it continuously or sell it, we'll just have to wait and see. Looking at shorts though, so even though the stock price has been doing fairly well over this last little bit, and just to give you an overview of what I mean, over this last 5 days, it is up 21.54%. But despite that though, you do see shorts starting to increase once again. So 28.53% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 110.46 million shares overall are being shorted. Friday shorts did increase 547,000. Cost to borrow average 11.25, and then utilization is 95.13%. So very high stuff. And in theory, just looking at the numbers itself, it could be a squeeze play. But knowing ChargePoint for what it is, you need a surprise catalyst, and I don't think ChargePoint has anything up their sleeves to really prompt that. So again, it is what it is. Going over options, 681,000 in calls on Friday, 558 in puts. Surprisingly though, 62% of all the options being done so far are optimistic and bullish. So clearly people are anticipating for this positive momentum to continue. And it looks like there's a consensus for it to be above $1.50 by next week, so May the 10th. So pretty interesting stuff for that. Like I already brought up, big money is not really looking at ChargePoint all that much right now, maybe with their upcoming earnings, which is coming out right here on the 5th. So June the 5th, of course, after hours, then maybe you might see some more institutional buying. But as of late, ChargePoint has been not really impressing a lot of people. I think bigger picture, aside from this week, of course. So getting right to it, why is AI being told to buy ChargePoint? One thing is the technicals. So starting off, it did bounce off of this 52-week and all-time low, and typically by doing so, it does kind of indicate, or a lot of the indicators do point to a buy, a very good buy, in fact. So that's one thing that really, I guess, tricks AI to say, hey, this is now the bottom, at least temporary bottom, and that it is due to trend up higher. So that's point number one. So that's what really kickstarted all of the AI buying. And then aside from that, though, it's EV demand. So in case you guys haven't been really paying attention to the EV market all that much, Tesla, NIO, Rivian have all been putting out their tentative numbers, and it has been very, very good, very positive. So the market's seeing an increase in just overall EV demand. And that's one thing that's really been hurting ChargePoint over this last little bit, is just nobody's been buying EVs, if that kind of makes sense, to some regard, to the same extent it was, I guess, beginning of 2023 and so forth. And ChargePoint's even brought that up in previous earnings, 2 times in fact, saying that due to the kind of decrease in overall demand is hurting their bottom line. So as of right now, things are changing for a very positive light. So I think both of those points is tricking, not really tricking, but AI is being told to buy because of those points, and maybe some other sentiment behind the scenes as well. So in my opinion, I feel like ChargePoint is still going to continue to run up. But is it justified? I'd be very, very cautious, because there's been a lot of stocks in the past that do have these run-ups, but without institutions actually adding that level of support. Because if it's just being ran up because of AI, like, it's no support. So it's kind of artificial, if that makes sense. So when it comes to ChargePoint, if there is a sign of weakness, then you are going to see a significant pull down, because like I said, no support and whatever else. So something to be aware of, even though it's very exciting, nice run up, just be cautious. So right now with it at $1.66 and change, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So $1.49 will be a strong support that you'll want to watch for going into next week. Then at $1.77 will be that next strong resistance. And I'm sure you can already tell, pretty wide gaps on the fib levels. So there's going to be a lot of volatility for the foreseeable future. Even on Friday, it did go up 9.21%. It didn't touch either of the spectrums. So yeah, I think ChargePoint does have a lot of good momentum, does have a lot more room to go up as well. It just, is it justified or not? I think we'll just have to wait and see for their upcoming earnings, again, which is on the 5th, June the 5th. That will kind of justify that. So let me know your thoughts. Give yourself a shout out in the comments if you've been buying ChargePoint, if you've been selling, what have you been doing? One final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧. So this is one of the best deals in the market. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.